We're approaching the 81st anniversary of the Normandy invasion. It was a decisive victory for the U.S. and our World War II allies. Historians say it opened the door to liberation from Northwest Europe from Nazi Germany occupation. But on my recent visit to Poland, I learned the fascinating, lesser-known story about the heroes of the Warsaw Uprising, a very different story about striving for freedom.
After 5 years of very brutal, cruel occupation of Poland, Polish Home Army, Polish underground state decided to fight against Germans.
Paweł Jukelski is with the Warsaw Rising Museum, devoted to the Warsaw Uprising. That was a World War II military revolt by the Polish resistance in 1944 to free the capital from German occupation.
One of the most touching exhibits we have in our collection is this little prayer written by 8-year-old girl. She gave the prayer to her father, who was going to fight in the Warsaw Rising. He put it into wallet, and the wallet put on the left chest. As you can see, there is a missing part of it. This is where German bullet hit, but the bullet stopped on it, in the wallet, and he survived. So we can say that this prayer saved his life.
Allied B-24 Liberator planes were a rare beacon of hope and support from the outside.
So the Liberator plane, this is full-scale replica of the plane. They were bringing hope to insurgents. They were delivering airdrops to Warsaw. And we decided to build this replica on a special request of the veterans. So we created this plane based on original American plans from Fort Worth, which were declassified for that purpose because it was still classified as a weapon. And when we invited all the living airmen on 62nd anniversary, when we built this plane, they entered the museum and asked, "How did you put it inside?" And then we knew that the replica is really perfect.
Sharyl, nice to meet you. We also found living history in Warsaw.
But back then, we had no thoughts about any other things. We were so entirely focused on the uprising, on the sole goal of driving the Germans out of our country. Nothing else mattered to us.
Zbigniew Ryski is 102 years old and took part in the Warsaw Uprising as a 21-year-old young man.
And his father at that time was a commander of the Polish underground forces in Warsaw between February 42 and February 44. On the first day of the uprising, our orders were to take a hospital in Wola in the Western District. But we failed to take it over. We were immediately destroyed by the Germans. They overpowered us.
For 2 months, Polish fighters took over large parts of the city and held off brutal Nazi forces. But in the end, they were brutally overpowered by Hitler and his army. The ensuing crackdown is called among the most brutal episodes of World War II. So why do the Poles today revere the memory?
Warsaw Rising was one of the most important events for Poland. One, Warsaw was destroyed, many people were killed, others were expelled from the city. But the most important, that it was fight for freedom, for independence, for democracy.
The Polish nation is used to live and wants to live in freedom, wants to live in normalcy. And we're being prevented from that. That's what we were fighting for. And because of that, we were convinced that we had to win. We didn't win. We lost. But in the end, today, we can feel the effects of that fight. Today we are free, and we even help other nations, other people who fight for their freedoms.
In the Warsaw Uprising, over 200,000 people were killed and thousands more removed to German concentration camps.